Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter World Iceborne livestream. We're back on the PC, because I don't think I broke Master Rank 100. Let's see, yep, we're at Master Rank 99, which means we need one more stream to get into Master Rank 100, and then we're done with that. And after we're done with Master Rank 100 on the PC, we're going to be playing on the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, guys, you probably feel a little bit neglected. One of the main reasons we've been playing a lot on PC is because I've also been doing all those Pokemon live streams, and conveniently, those are on my PC. So some of it is a laziness, but we will get our PlayStation character to Master Rank 100 as well, so that as more Arch-Tempered monsters come out, we can actually fight them on all three characters and unlock all of the super awesome Gamma Gear, which will undoubtedly become irrelevant when Elytrian comes out. What if it's not irrelevant? What if it's all useful? Who knows? I think that Elytrian armor will probably be like the new Dragon armor set, but there will probably be choice pieces of the Gamma Gear that we take a look at. How is it going, everyone? Fix my computer here. How is it going? I got so much going on today. We're going to try and get this live stream done in a solid 2 hours, and then I will probably take a break, try to go for a walk or something like that, because it's the weekend and I'm supposed to spend time with my wifey, right? But I want to do the card stream. We're going to be opening up a vintage booster box of Japanese first edition Expedition, also known as E-Series cards. I'm going to be selling those packs off for $105 each. So if you want a chance to buy a vintage booster pack, you can get yourself on the list of people who purchased a pack before they're all sold. They'll probably all sell. I don't know. Maybe it depends on how drained everyone is already. Sometimes I feel like my audience buys so many cards that I don't understand where they get the money from. But yeah, so we'll be doing that over on the other channel. And now we're ready to work on this live stream. This is a chat time live stream, which means we're going to hunt together. I'm going to help you with, your stuff. You'll help me with my stuff. I'll probably card a bunch, and we'll talk about fun stuff as we go. Okay. PS4, that's right, PS4. PS4 needs some love. Exodus says, I've been waiting for so long for PlayStation 4. Cody says, howdy there. How do you do an evade reload consistently? I just got Aqua Shot and trying to get Fury's Raging down, and it ain't working for me. Haha. There are actually some tips. So one tip is, if you miss your evade reload, use your Wyvern Blast. Your special ammo. Use your special ammo, because after you're done using the special ammo, you can go into a dive evade from there. So if you happen to mess up your dive evade, use the Wyvern Blast and then try again. If you don't have any more Wyvern Blast, you can actually switch over to the Sticky Ammo 2, fire that, and while it's going through the animation of shooting the Sticky Ammo 2, you scroll over to the Sticky Ammo level 3, and then you do your evade reload, and it is very similar. It has the same effect. You end up reloading the Sticky Ammo 3 rather than the Sticky Ammo 2. So I hope those tips help. I don't use Aqua Shot, I just use the Beast Buster, because I don't like using the evade reload. It's super annoying. You can also just build not to use evade reload, by the way. Clean says, game come first, then do Pokemon card game, and then lastly spend wife. If only if it was that simple, Mr. Clean. Just put them all together. A stray cat snuck up behind me and scared the living daylights out of me. This is cool, says, hey TGC, how come you don't stream on Twitch? Any specific reason? I just stream on YouTube's. I'm a YouTube streamer. Twitch can suck my stinky butthole. Let's get started. Who's in here? Hey, we got people. Sahia, Krydos, MTL, Erica, CJ, Show Me Your Bob, Nora, It's Titanyo, and Shifu. Let's see if they've posted anything. Actually, if we're Master Rank 99, we probably have to talk to this guy over here, and then we probably have a quest. As always, you guys are often generous enough to be leaving like a donation or something like that. If you ever do that, just let me know if you want me to play with a particular weapon, and I'll be happy to do that for you. Oh, he says, it's going to be this guy? Maybe it's going to be this guy. Nope, it is not that guy. Do I just get a quest? What actually happens? It says we're at Master Rank 99. Maybe it's in the special assignments already? No. Not there either. Huh. So maybe we just keep going then. Let's get these done. I'm going to start up lightning clashes. If GC streamed on Twitch, he would get banned because he isn't an e-girl. That's right. Can I buy you? What? Mr. Clean says, game come first. Oh, I already read that one. No one can compete with Twitch thoughts, to be honest. Also, ironically, I'm certain the topics GE talks about will get him reported more often than on YouTube. Oh, am I not? Oh, man. Why would anyone ever get reported for having an honest conversation? That's so stupid, man. Terrible, man. We were talking about that yesterday before the live stream. So what happened, YouTube like crashed yesterday, and we were having a real intense conversation about like issues like immigration. Some guy came in, he's like, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist, you know. And I was talking about how actually that's a problem, where you can't have honest conversations without being attacked anymore. The argument doesn't get attacked, the person gets attacked. And that's how we do things now. And I consider that a form of, coercion and the sort of conflict that leads to probably a civil war. So we were talking a little bit about that at the end of the last live stream. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy time. Do a Guiding Lands expedition, hunt a monster, and come back, and you'll have it assigned by the Celiana commander. Thank you very much, Joke Sopium. Shredder wants Switch Axe. Let's get out here. Jump over here. What should I do to get Ray Jang's heart? Send him a love letter. Duh. Alright, let's take care of this anyways. I'll turn my volume up. Come on, it didn't grab him. There it goes. Oh my god, I can't believe I have to run up here. Alan says, I was here. It was Mike, right? Yeah, it was Mike, but I feel like Mike's just perhaps representative of the other side in general. You know what I mean? People on the other side don't have an honest conversation about how to deal with things. What they do is they just call you an ism. You're a racist, or an ist, or whatever. You're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, you're this, you're that. That's the new thing. You just attack the person. The guys who run Twitch are a bunch of simps. They even banned the simp emote from being used. They banned the simp emote? Why would they do that? Stab you in the head, boy. Boy! I only ever went on Discord Politics channel because someone threatened to kick me over posting straight news story. They swore it was political. That's how people get radicalized. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pity, man, because it's important stuff, and, you know, I think there was a point in the conversation we were having yesterday where one of the things I was accused of being was the talking points of, like, the GOP, and I'm like, wait a second. Of course, because the GOP is like a legit political party. It's the only other political party in the United States. Being a conservative, there is nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly normal to be a conservative. But it's crazy because the left treats it like, I don't know, like you're a Nazi if you're a conservative. And it's like, when did this happen? When did we start treating people that way? You're a Nazi. But no, that's really how it is. It's like, you can't even have a conservative point of view anymore. And that's not going to lead to a peaceful resolution and a good compromise between the two parties. What it's going to lead to is radicalization and, violence, honestly. It'll eventually lead to real violence. Beta! Do you remember the person named Oof? I do not. So is rarity 11, 12 weapons and armor only from event? Oh, snap, I should probably not. You seem like a typical male conservative. Right, many of my ideas are not super radical at all. Concepts like, not spending more money than we can afford, for example. And that means not having overbloated social welfare programs, but asking people to get a job. That's actually extremely conservative. There's nothing new about that. That's been around for a long time. And again, I mentioned multiple times, I'm not against social welfare programs. I just, I think that you have to try and balance your budget, because there is a point where you have so much debt that you just spend all your money on interest, and you suffer inflation. So you have to be able to do both. Offer ways to help people, but also keep your your budget balanced. Most conservative parties in Germany are right-wing ones. Well, I don't know much about German politics. I'm curious what's going on over in Germany after everything that happened. You know, after the UK left the EU, after Merkel had an enormous amount of immigration from Syria. Right. Let's go ahead and take this off. I mean, if you think about how much tax money must have been spent on that, it must have been insane, the amount of money they basically just handed out. And to think that they could have just taken that money, and I know everyone feels better when they're helping somebody, but in Germany they could have just taken that money. I hear that in Germany they have an issue where the young people aren't having enough kids, right? What if they just took all that tax money and used it to buy you a 3-bedroom home, right? Instead of spending it on immigrants. You just spend it, and honestly, Syria did need help, and there's ways to help them that doesn't include importing all of Syria into your country. And the other issue, of course, is that from what I understand, in Germany, they had a problem where once it became clear that Germany wasn't doing a terrific job vetting who was coming in, it triggered a mass migration, not just from Syria, but from all over Africa and the Middle East. And they didn't really have a way of proving who was from Syria and who wasn't, so I understand those are all problems. And so in Germany, you're just taking your tax dollars and just throwing it almost into a hole, like it's just all going away. And you have a problem with not having enough, your population's shrinking because people aren't having children. Well, part of the reason people aren't having children is because they can't afford a home. So instead of flooding your country with even more people and then spending your tax dollars on other people, what if you just spent the tax dollars on your people and bought young men and women a 3-bedroom house? And, when you have a 3-bedroom house, it's going to be easier to have children at that point. You're going to be like, yeah, I could have children in here. If you're living in these small flats or whatever they call it in Europe, you're living in these small buildings. You can't afford a home. Everything's gotten so expensive. I guess in Germany you pay more taxes. I don't really know how it all works over there, but I know for a fact the number one thing that's held me and my wife back from having children is we have student debt, and the cost of living and the cost of houses is enormous. And so your government can choose to do a few things with your own tax dollars. That's your money. The government took your money, and it could use that money to do something like build more houses, or it could do something like simply give you a house, give you a stipend for having a house if you have a child. I don't know. But instead, they use it to import people from all over the world. I don't agree with that. That's a normal and conservative point of view to not agree with that. And it's more of a financial thing anyways. It's more of a financial thing. And there's nothing radical about that point of view, but if you express it, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to be called like racist or something. It's really interesting. Anyways, I'm going to go grab an energy drink. I'll be right back. And then we're going to go into the guiding lands. My point of view, my philosophy has always kind of been that most problems are not a problem of race. Most problems are a problem of wealth. I find that when everyone's wealthy, nobody really cares about race at that point. It's usually when everyone's wealthy, nobody really cares. And then when there's a big disparity between the wealthy and the poor, that's when everyone starts to look at, well, what's causing it? And all these explanations come up, and one of them is, racism or something like that.
There, partner.
Mr. Clean says, how to make money easy? Make your house turn into apartments and steal people's money. Yeah, it's an interesting problem, Mr. Clean. Excuse me. I don't know if I fully agree with it. It's a little more complicated than that, Mr. Clean. It's a lot more complicated than that. So some people feel that landlords, they should just be gotten rid of. But here's what would happen if the landlords couldn't invest in real estate, they would invest in the stock market. And then what would happen is the price of stock would go up, and then you and I couldn't retire the same way because the stocks would be overpriced for the amount of dividends they pay out. Also, there would probably be other side effects. The value of your home would probably fall. So anyone who already owns a home, the value of their home would fall immediately. And the third problem is a lot of these guys who want to be landlords, they do a lot of construction and a lot of repair on these houses. So they take old houses that are becoming worn down and useless, and instead of letting your neighborhood look ugly, they actually invest a lot of money into the house, make it look nice again, make it livable again, and then they rent it out. The last thing is there is a sort of an equilibrium where the cost of owning a home meets the cost of renting a home. But you could talk about that all day probably. You could say that, well, the only reason why it's not better to own a home is because of all of the landlords and everything. But again, that's a complicated issue. But my point, Mr. Clean, is they're not evil people. They're just investors, and we do allow the ownership of private property, which is a good thing. If you want to drive down the price of housing, you should incentivize the government to build more houses. The government should say, you know what, we need more houses. And it has to be done well, though, because there is a point where if the value of the homes are falling, nobody wants to buy a house anymore because it won't be considered an investment anymore. So it's actually a really delicate thing. It's a really delicate thing, and it's not easy to, because you want people to want houses. You really do. You want people to want houses. If people decide they only want to rent because house prices are depreciating, this would change the balance of everything. And this is why the free market takes care of everything. The free market, just the equilibriums arise when you allow private property ownership and the free market to do its own thing. If the government steps in and says, you shall not own land or rent it, things would change dramatically. The market would basically be messed up. All right. So he said we need to go on an expedition in the guiding lands, huh? Logic says, what platform are we on today? We're on the Game Boy Advance. Obe says the government should be paying for my mom's needs. She's a nurse. Yeah. I can't agree with that. Lynn says there has to be a balance in this force. Well, and very often we ask ourselves, who's better at finding this balance? Does the government find the balance faster than the free market finds the balance? I don't know if it does. I don't know if I'm convinced that it does. I think that the government does a lot of things poorly because the people who run the governments, they're not experts in particular fields. They're experts in being politicians. So that's what politicians are experts at. They're experts at being showboats and kissing babies. They're experts at putting teams together. They're experts at looking good on TV. They're not experts at operating some huge business like Amazon or something. Jeff Bezos is probably smarter than most politicians, is my point. He doesn't run your country, he runs his company, and he's probably smarter than most politicians. Same with guys like Elon Musk or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. They don't want to go into government because their skills would be useless there. They would be less helpful for everyone if they worked in the field of government. So actually what happens is you get a lot of stupid people in government. Those are like the leftover people. The smartest people go into private business. They don't want to work. They don't want to be in the government. Maybe they do it much later in life. Donald Trump actually is an example of somebody who was successful in the private sector and then later moved over into public office. So maybe he reached a point where it's like, I'm happy with my success over here. I'm gonna go try and do this other thing now. But not everyone does that, obviously. What? You guys can't be freaking out at me. Oh, there he is. Pookie is right there. Thank you for your progression, guys. To be honest, they are the reason I kept playing, and now I'm hooked. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Is there any reason to fight Cove in Master Rank if I ignored her in High Rank? Ouch. Yeah, you'll want to fight her in Master Rank in order to get her upgraded QR weapons. Wow, I can't believe I didn't flinch him. Oops. Talk about your experience with women, your opinion on red pill men and MGTOW. Yeah, we've talked about this issue before. I think that men in MGTOW and red pilled men, I think they're resentful men. I think that that's the wrong way to be, obviously. Just like it's wrong for women to be resentful toward men. It doesn't work. In the end, men and women need each other. It's not a men versus women or women versus men. That's not how it works. Men and women need each other. That's my point of view. And the problem with guys who are quote, red pilled, or in MGTOW, they probably do see some real problems in society. I think there are a lot of problems between men and women right now. Problems that were accelerated by the rise of technology, but also because of things we've accepted as normal in our society, quote, progress, which isn't progress at all. So there's a lot of problems going on between the way men and women date and the way we see ourselves and the way we regulate ourselves sexually and the way we regulate our relationships. But then again, technology is keeping us separated. It lets us be a psychopath on apps like Tinder. You know, I'm sure Tinder's full of psychopaths, both men and women. They don't give a shit about how you feel. They're just there to get laid and stuff like that, right? So it's just full of really bad people. And people are losing the ability to go out and date because, well, coronavirus is almost an example. Is anyone out dating during coronavirus? Somebody probably is, but you know, coronavirus is probably interrupting it. But not just coronavirus, also the fact that you can just stay home and jerk off. And porn's not what it used to be, man. Porn used to be something that was hard to get a hold of, and it was terrible quality, by the way. Porn used to be terrible quality. Now you can get porn of anyone in a high definition. You can interact with the person who's making the porn. You can pay them to make you porn. You know, OnlyFans and all this stuff. So everything's changing because of technology, not necessarily for the better. I think that some of the side effects of porn is that it messes up men and it desensitizes you to go out and get laid with somebody who you're going to make actual babies with. Remember that? That's the whole point of making gookie with each other. The whole point of it is that your biology is rewarding you for making babies. It's not for just having a good time. It's for actually making children, guys. That was what your body, that's why it feels good. Your body's trying to make you get into the baby making mode. But we got the birth control pill now. We've got, you know, rubbers and all that other stuff. So everything that's natural about relationship and sex has been chopped up. And we have all this technology that allows us to just lay around and masturbate all day. And at the same time, we have a lot of feminism. We have the red-pilled men. It's very toxic. It's very bad. We changed the way marriage works. Marriage is more like this. Hey, you want to have a tax break together? That's what marriage is today. Marriage is just a tax break that you enjoy for a while until you get divorced. It's all shit. All of it. It's gotten pretty poor. But it's not just women's fault, and it's not just men's fault. I think that technology made it complicated. And men could do a better job of being good men, and women should let go of their resentfulness and give up these terrible ideas and feminism that have been planted in their head. Well, it gets planted in men's head too, by the way. It gets planted in men's head at a young age. I think I've said this on this channel before. I actually consider feminism to be probably one of the worst ideologies of the 21st century. It's one of the most dangerous and disrupting ideologies. And the reason that I feel this way is because it disrupts the family unit. And when you disrupt the family unit, you don't have a country anymore. It ends. Your countries are all gone after that. If you don't have a man and a woman having a child, well, having a few children, having roughly 3 children, your country decays essentially. It becomes a degenerate country and it disappears over time. It gets replaced by people who are practicing having children and having a family unit, which is why after I realized this, I started to respect religions a little more, even though I'm not religious. I realized the reason Jews and Christians and Muslims, those religions have lasted for thousands of years, simply because they make you go out and have kids. That's the main reason. They tell you to go out and have kids. So, and they do. People do have kids when they're Christian or Muslim or Jewish. So, the MGTOW guys and the Red Pill guys, they're super resentful. They're probably sensitive guys, is the truth, okay? They're probably sensitive guys. and they're having a strong reaction to their experiences with dating that were really toxic and terrible, divorce and all that. And they're like, you know what? The best way to treat women is as objects. That's what their realization is. It's not a happy way to live. As a man, you wouldn't want to be treated as an object, and I'm sure women don't want to be treated that way either, except for maybe in bed. But no, jokes aside, the thing that makes people happiest in the long run, in my opinion, is when you love somebody and care for them and make sacrifices for them. And the trick is to be that way,
Hey there,
and to find somebody who is also that way. My wife and I, we've been together for it's either 7 years or 8 years, and we've been terrible people in the relationship. At times, we've fought. We've been a lot of being in a relationship over time has been about figuring out what you're bad at, basically, and then trying to fix that. That's the truth. Like you struggle with being patient, or you struggle with communicating, which is probably the bigger one for guys. Guys aren't very good at understanding why they feel the way they feel. Like, you have feelings, obviously, but you don't realize what's triggering the feeling. So guys are bad at communication just because they're not smart enough to communicate what's going on. They don't even know what's going on. It's just happening to them. But yeah, so over 8 years, you figure out, wow, I'm a shitty human being, and you try to improve for your partner. That's what a relationship, from my point of view, that's what a relationship has been. And it's not just men that are asked to improve. Women have to as well. Women aren't perfect. There's all the stereotypes about women. They nag, quick emotional changes, emotional swings, and all that stuff. Lucky for me, of course, my wife is gorgeous, so that makes it all easy. I'm just I'm just making fun. Oh, by the way, there was a donation. I didn't even notice this. Hold on. There was a donation by Anton Namtet. Thank you so much. That was a $20 donation. Very generous. By the way, if you ever want to make a donation that pops up on screen, you can do that using the Streamlabs link in the description. Streamlabs does not take any of your donation for itself, whereas the Super Chat, YouTube actually takes 30% of that. All right, so I try to educate you guys on that. Very generous. Thank you so much, man. Show me your Bob left the session. But yeah, my experience with women has been an interesting one. I think that for a long time, I was more of a sort of feminist kind of guy where I believed in men and women being perfectly equal to each other, right? Women are my equal, and I need to be more thoughtful about women's rights and all that stuff. And slowly over time, that's all gone. I realized it was all fake. It was all an illusion. There is no such thing as equality. The moment you're born, you're worse than somebody else. You're weaker than somebody else. Somebody's stronger than you. Equality in nature does not exist. Nature doesn't care about equality. It doesn't want it. So women, you notice in the world, there's no matriarchies, no successful matriarchies. You notice there's strong biological differences between men and women. They're physically weaker than you. They're the ones who get pregnant. You do not get pregnant. So I see men and women as fulfilling specific roles, and it is a good idea for both men and women to the degree that they can, to embrace those roles. I strongly believe that men should not be at home taking care of the children. They should be out earning money, because it's really the only thing you do as a man that's distinct. As a man, you're strong, you're emotionally strong, and you're physically strong. You can go out into the world, suffer all the things that hurt you in the world, and come home with food, basically, right? That's the thing that women find attractive, is why women often care about how much money you have. They don't care quite as much about how you look, but they want to know that you're capable of providing for children. And the thing that women do that's distinct from men, of course, is they have children, and they're the only they can have children. So I don't see men and women as equal, but as fulfilling different roles. And men protect women, and women have the children, and you need each other. And the red pill guys, their point of view is totally different. Their point of view is take everything you can from women, because women are bad guys. They're evil, they're feminists, they're there to screw you and marry you and take half your money, which happens to guys. It's really sad, by the way. Did you know divorce wasn't even a thing for a while? Marriage was totally different in the past. Marriage has evolved to a totally new thing in our modern day. What you should do, go read a history of marriage, and you'll realize the concept of marriage was totally different in the past. It was like fathers who would marry off their daughters to another man who would say, I want your daughter for my son. So it was all arranged, and it was all about power, and it wasn't a lot so much about love. Of course, love emerges, but it was totally different. It wasn't about this. Hey, let's get tax breaks from the government. The government often wasn't even involved, so everything changed, and not necessarily always for the better. I think the whole issue of divorce is real bad. I wish they would make it harder to divorce, but also harder to marry. Hey, look at that. We still don't have a quest. Does the quest show up in our... Maybe it shows up on the board. No wonder I don't have a girlfriend anymore, says Feech. But yeah, so anyways, if you have a negative experience with a girl, you need to work on yourself, and you need to not feel resentment toward women. And you can accept that what you want maybe is a traditional girlfriend, wife, who wants to fulfill the role of a wife, not a husband, because that's what feminists want women to do. They want them to be husbands. But you can tell yourself that I want a traditional wife like my grandfather had, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And you would find it in like the Catholic Church or in Islam or in Judaism. You'd probably find that people who are Orthodox, you would probably find women who want to fulfill a traditional role. And so that would be my advice for guys. And the women who are like, they're on like Tinder and they got like the photos and they're like, don't even swipe if you like Trump and all this. Just avoid them. Just ignore them. Let those girls have the guys who are psychopaths. And how many single moms are there in the world? Hold on, let me look it up. There's a number of single moms in the world. 9.5 million American families run by one woman. Go let them be a single mom. All right, that's their choice. Their choice is to be kind of a shitty woman. When you say something like, don't even talk to me if you're of the opposing political viewpoint, you're a bad person. You don't want to be with that kind of person. You want to avoid people who are not open-minded. They're actually quite narrow-minded, kind of like the people who they accuse. So, but you want to find somebody who's more orthodox, more traditional, and understands gender differences and wants to fulfill the role of being a wife, not a husband. And I think that if you were to do that, you will be a lot more successful and happy in your relationships. And you're not going to find a whole lot of women who are that way, in my opinion, because it's becoming unpopular to be religious. But you could, if you find somebody who's more, let's say on that side of feminism and liberalism, and because it gets drilled into kids' head at a young age in high school, I suppose, in media and Hollywood and on the internet. If you meet someone like that, you're going to have to present arguments to them and be like, you like me? You like how much money I earn? You like my career? You like the way I look? Sorry, you're going to have to see my point of view as well. See what I'm saying? So if you want to be convincing to women, don't worry so much about, oh, I demand this, I demand that. If you are your best version of yourself and you're out using your skills to the limit, you will be earning a lot more money. You will have more prestige. You will be up the social hierarchy and all that stuff. You'll have rank. And women will be attracted to that of any political spectrum because it turns out there is no political spectrum for sexuality. That doesn't exist. Women look at men and they go, wow, that guy's a leader. Wow, that guy's the best at what he does. Wow, that guy works insanely hard. He has a lot of control, a lot of willpower. Women are attracted. They don't care what your political party is at that point. So, and these guys who get totally destroyed, these MG Tau guys and Red Pill guys, very often they're not fulfilling the needs. I'm assuming very often they're not fulfilling the needs of their wife, and there's a breakdown. And I'm not just saying it's only their fault, but I'm saying it's hard for women to leave men who are successful. They don't want to do that because it's risky out there. Not everyone's a successful guy. And I'm betting some of the times when they leave, these guys who get burned, they're often moving to a more successful guy. So if you have anxiety about dealing with women, always the best thing to do is to work on yourself and to just be successful as much as you can. That means going up, going out into the world, suffering, and then coming home all burnt up and you know what I mean? Coming home all battered and beaten up, but with money in your pocket. But that's what our ancestors always did, right? What do we got? That's what our ancestors have always done. All the farming our ancestors did, all the hunting our ancestors did, none of that felt good. It was all difficult and painful. What? Hey, we can't get the quest to unlock. Master Rank 99, but nobody to talk to. Huh, weird. Anyways, I hope that helps. I think those guys with MG Tau and Red Pill, I totally get their point of view. I wouldn't want to be like them. You know what I mean? I get their point of view, but I wouldn't want to be like them, all resentful and defeated. Well, they're trying to do everything they can not to be defeated, but that's the thing. They're almost like they're struggling almost with like an inferiority complex. I don't know what other words to use. Actually, I'll be right back. Lars Neef says, I think you need an area at level 6 for a Rune or Nergigante quest to show up. Ooh. Same difference says, virtue signaling is the new cat call. I actually don't believe that at all, by the way. So I think that women, including feminist women, they get into virtue signaling. I think when men virtue signal is actually very unattractive. Excuse me. Doo-doo-doo. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. I think that you can't cheat nature. And so what I mean by this is women inevitably are attracted to men. Excuse me. Hold on, I have a drink. Okay, am I sounding better? Wow. Imagine talking all day as a job. Anyways, I think that you can't cheat nature. Almost all women are always going to be attracted to a sort of, it's a stupid term, but it's so weird because it works, to a sort of like alpha male. It's kind of like the cans and the can'ts, you know, the cans and the can'ts. Women are attracted to cans. I'm thinking of soda can now. But women are attracted to alpha males. And guess what? Alpha males don't virtue signal so much. I don't think they do. I think alpha males, they don't need to because they don't care. They're often the leader types, and women will always be attracted to leader types. And there will be some women who fall outside of that range. They'll be like, nah, I want a man who virtue signals. I would say those are women who want like a beta male husband. I don't think there's a lot of women like that. I think that even feminist women, if you were to ask them, who do you want as a husband, a beta male or alpha male? They're going to say alpha males. It's pretty universal. It's not something that you can get around. So when the feminists and the girls are out there telling you to be a huge simp, low energy beta male, and they're telling you you need a virtue signal, you need to believe all this shit that I believe, just ignore them. Just be like, yeah, okay, that's nice, but it's wrong. And then you don't have to argue with them. Just go out and be productive. And then when you say, yeah, I've got a nice paying job and I have a home, they're gonna be like, oh damn, that's sexy. Maybe I'll leave my boyfriend and then he can join MG Town. I'll be with you. You see what I'm saying? So if we were going to level up a place, I would level up the Coral Highlands. Let's get to it, guys. I won't type it in. They can hear me. Wait, why is it taking me over here? Oh, that's the tundra. This is where we want to be. You know, if we got a group of ladies in here, and let's say they were all liberal, and you asked them, what do you want for a husband, a beta male or alpha male? They'll say alpha male. Most of them will. Well, first they'll avoid the question. They'll be like, I don't want to answer that question, because they all know, internally they know they want an alpha male, but they'll want to say something like, I want a male who's a feminist. That's what they'll want to say, but they'll realize there's a contradiction between being a feminist male and being an alpha male. There's a contradiction between that. It's very hard to do those two things together. Doesn't really make sense. I want to be married to Joe Biden. He's a true warrior for women. Turns out Joe Biden touches women. He's accused of sexual assault, all the stuff. All the same stuff the conservatives are accused of. Except, where are all the senators? Where are all the liberal senators saying, I believe her? Where did they go? They all disappeared when it's Joe Biden. What happened? They all disappeared. Broman says, what is virtue signaling? Virtue signaling is where you try to show off to people how sympathetic you are toward like progressivist goals and ideals, kind of like worrying about racism and feminism and we gotta have open borders and we gotta have socialism, and so you kind of let everyone know how woke you are by letting them know how educated you are on those subjects. Oh yeah, all problems are just caused by misogyny and the patriarchy. So that's virtue signaling. It's very annoying. It's almost like a competition to be the most progressive. That's what it is. It's like a competition to see who's more progressive. I hate that term progressive. Who decided that would be their term, progressive? You guys realize concepts like socialism and communism are not new. They're super old ideas. They've been around for a long time. They're their own conservative old ideas about how money should be handled. So there's nothing progressive or new about socialism or communism. Very old ideas. So to call them like, oh, that's progress, it's almost like this word engineering where the left gets to cheat and claim that they're being progressive when it's like none of their ideas are new. I don't know where that came from. It's like calling Donald Trump a progressivist. He's a progressivist because he believes that jobs should stay at home. Wow, that's progress. You know what I mean? It's an unfair title. It's an unfair title because all their ideas are old ideas. Roll over here. Virtue signal example: being white and constantly complaining about white people. Precisely. Great job capturing the ZZ. ZZ material. I should have geologist on, shouldn't I? We're actually going to go back and I'm going to grab geologist. We're on the, we might as well. Also, let's grab a switch axe. There was a request for a switch axe. Progressive, the insurance company. Can I curse? No, cursing is illegal. I just have to become prettier than Elon Musk. Oh, I have to become prettier, then Elon Musk will notice me.
Hey there, partner.
Elon Musk, the beta male. But yeah, people believe that they have to be that way, and you really don't. You just have to be successful. You just have to be, and becoming successful in the end is really all about becoming productive. You have to become productive. That's the trick. When you're productive, everything works out for you because you've got money, you've got security, you've got money, you've got, at that point, I guess, confidence maybe. I don't really know if that's exactly how it works. Hey baby, did you see all my Pokemon cards? Yeah, I know. I know you can't resist a man with good Pokemans. So we got geologist, and we have room for one more thing. What should we take? You guys don't want to know how large my Pokemon collection is at this point. It is insane. Yeah, we'll take this. Why not? Okay, so somebody requested the Switch X. Now we're going to play Switch X in the Guiding Lands. Thanks for the weapon request. Let's get into it. Get into it. Can we actually travel to the next map and then back? Hold on. Wait. How fast does this load? Gameconomist become a self-maintaining robot and you start of not caring about nature anymore? Mary says, dude, a man with good Pokemon can have all my babies. Mary, you don't even know. I'm scared of how many Pokemon cards I have. I had to start taking my cards and dropping them off places.
Hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend.
Oh my god, jeez.
No way, I think you need a new one. Hey, you, I could be your girlfriend. Hey, you, I know that you like.
Oh my god.
No, it's not a secret. Hey, you.
Well, anyways, one day my wife and I found our back door, our screen door was pulled open, and we don't know who did it. We didn't do it. Neither of us go out that door ever. So it was like somebody had tested our door. And the other day, somebody had gone through our car, actually. Somebody went through our car trying to steal, which that's not new. Like, car theft is pretty... I've been stolen from in my car more than once, so that didn't surprise me. But the back door scared me. So I ended up taking quite a lot of cards and putting them all over the place, like getting them out of my home, because I don't want to break in where I lose, like, all this Pokemon cards. My cards, my Pokemon cards, the ones I bought, they appreciated, they went up in value so hard in the last year, guys. So there was this booster box I was buying, and back when I bought my first booster box, it's a box full of Pokemon booster packs. The first one I bought cost me $2,400, and I thought I was insane to purchase it. I thought I was absolutely off my nut. I didn't have that kind of money to just throw around for Pokemon cards, cardboard, right? Today, the same box was just listed by a major seller for $12,000 in less than a year. It's been about 10 months since I bought my first box. $12,000 now. That's how much that box has gone up. Well, guess what? I own 5 of those. I bought 5 of them. I bought 5 of those boxes before they went up. Most of them I paid about $3,000 for. And the last one I paid $3,800 for it. It is now selling for $12,000, and I have 5 of them. Do the math on that. So, successful Pokemon card investment. That's big cha-ching right there. Very excited. And so I have my eyes all over the Pokemon card hobby right now, because that's a really big deal to take something and, well, it's like it went up in value times 6 or something like that. That's crazy. That's crazy how much that went up in cost. So, and I could show you, if you've ever watched my other channel, I have a second YouTube channel, if you guys didn't know that, where I do Pokemon card investing. I consider it my investment channel. And we open cards together, we have cards professionally graded together, and we talk about what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy. My investment in cards was so good, I almost can't believe it. I bought 5 of those boxes at around $3,000 each, and they go for $12,000 now. But that wasn't the only box I bought. I have about let me think about it for a second. I have 4 other boxes, and they're doing exactly the same thing. So I have a total of like 9 boxes, booster boxes. And I think I might have earned something close to, like, think about it for a second. I don't know, it must be like $70,000 to $80,000. It must be in that range. Just from card appreciation, about $80,000 in 10 months. Okay, so I'm a happy boy right now, if you didn't know that about me. I have not sold the boxes, and I probably will not until I'm an old man. That's my retirement fund, by the way. So if you guys aren't working on a retirement fund, you should. But that's my retirement fund, and I probably won't dip into it until I'm much older. What I'll probably do at that point is I'll probably open the booster boxes and sell off the booster packs. But the price that they're going for now is so insane. I cannot believe it. And it's all driven by the fact that YouTubers keep opening the boxes. And so every time a box gets opened, the remaining boxes become rarer. And so these YouTubers like myself are just flying through these boxes. We're just eating them up. Yum, 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 right? Just like that, with the sound effects and all. And in the end, the boxes over time become incredibly rare. They become as rare as the Pokemon cards inside of the box. Really, really cool. And that was my prediction back then when I started buying them. Because who buys $3,000 booster boxes? Who buys like 5 of them? Who does that? It was me. I was like, I'm thinking these will go up. That was my realization. These have to go up. Fast says, who pays for $12,000 cardboard? Go look up eBay. Go look up Pokemon cards on eBay. They sell all day, man. All day long they sell. People are paying the big bucks for those old vintage cards. Real big bucks. It's like lots of money. I saw some posted just last night. Actually, I check every single day. I watch the market for somebody who prices their card incorrectly. I check every single day. Grab this right here. Because if you find somebody who's maybe just ignorant on the real price of the card, or they're too lazy to price it correctly, or whatever the case, you make a bunch of money buying that card at the right price. kind of like used car salesman, right? So he buys your car and then he sells it for more than he bought it for, right? And he just specializes in that. And people don't like to sell their cars; it's too much work. And so he does like to sell cars. He doesn't mind. Well, Pokemon cards are kind of like that. They get so expensive that you can get lazy and sell the card at the wrong price, and you would lose like $1,000. And you're like, I don't care. I just want to sell my card fast, right? I'm just sitting there waiting for you to do that because that is a lot of money to be thrown away. Oh my god. And I've done it too. I've purchased cards that were some of the best ones I've purchased recently, by the way. I bought a Snorlax, a Dragonite, and a Shining Charizard was easily my best one recently. I bought a Shining Charizard for like 4.5 thousand. The seller was very generous and gave me a good price on it. And it now is going for $10,000, the same card. And it sold, I don't know if it sold at 10. It sold recently at 7,000. So it sold at 7,000. I bought mine at 4.5 thousand. And the only one available is available at 10,000. Now think about that for a second. I might have just made about $5,000 off of a purchase on a card that I expected to go up in price. $5,000. That's the wildest thing I've ever seen. It's almost like the stock market, but for nerds. And so all the normal people are looking over it because they're normal. They don't know anything about Pokemon cards. But if you're a nerd and you understand Pokemon, you've got opportunity to play the stock market a little bit. It's not truly stock market. Maybe it's like a fine art is actually a better description. It's like the fine art market. How about that? It's not the stock market. It's the fine art market. Okay, so you have a chance to play. See how good you are at trading when it comes to these old Pokemon cards. There is a Yu-Gi-Oh card that is extremely rare, and it's for $8,000. Yeah, I don't mess with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't really know what's going to happen with the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. I don't feel like it has an especially bright future. Maybe it does. I could be wrong about that. People who are into Yu-Gi-Oh, if you buy up a bunch of cards now and the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise like blows back up, becomes mainstream, that's going to be great. You're going to make a ton of money, by the way. I don't understand Yu-Gi-Oh quite as much because I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed Pokemon immensely. And so, similar with Digimon, I had no reason to get into Yu-Gi-Oh. I was like, I don't want to do Yu-Gi-Oh. I want to do Pokemans. You know what I mean? So that was my perspective on that when I was younger. But the Yu-Gi-Oh cards are out there and they're professionally graded too. So have at it. Imagine being a successful alpha male and telling you to invest in Pokemon. Hey, well, it's all about money in the end, really. If you buy, there's Charizards out there that cost like $75,000. You guys know that, right? And they actually sell, right? You guys are aware of that? There's Pokemon cards out there already. There's a booster box, the Neo Destiny booster box. It's going for $28,000. And I look at it, and when I first got into card trading, I'm like, that's insane. I'll never touch that. These days, I look at it and I go, I wonder if I could sell a few of my boxes and pick up that Neo Destiny box. That's how I look at it now, because I go, man, that's underpriced. That's how I look at it today. That box is underpriced. The box is underpriced because there aren't enough buyers who have that kind of money. And the reason there aren't enough buyers with that kind of money is because the Pokemon franchise is only 20 years old. So, or whatever, like 22 or something. So the Pokemon franchise isn't really old enough to support having a lot of people with millions of dollars to go out and buy a booster box like that for $28,000. But my realization is as people get older, they will have that money, because as people get older, you've had more time to earn money and to save up money. And so this is why I expect all the Pokemon cards to shoot up in cost dramatically over time. So for me, my point of view on the cards is to buy and hold. Buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. I want to see what they do in about 20 years. So I'm going to buy a bunch of really rare vintage Pokemon cards, sit on them for 20 years, and then 20 years from now I'm going to sell them at the market price, and I will probably make a crazy amount of money. That is my prediction. And you guys will probably still be around in 20 years. I hope you are. So you guys come back to me in 20 years and we'll see how we're doing. I'll show off my collection. I'll be like, this is my $1 million Pokemon card collection. It's going to pay for my cancer. It's going to pay for my cancer. But because we'll all, eventually we'll all have heart problems or cancer or diabetes or whatever it is that kills people. But hopefully I'll be able to take my collection and use that to pay for anything I need when I'm older. Maybe I'll be able to, if since I'm going to have 13 children, I can give it as an inheritance. When I was younger, I traded Dark Charizard for some dog shit trade to an older kid. Still regret it almost 20 years later. Yeah, that's the funny thing about Pokemon cards back then is you could be convinced to make a bad trade because you don't know any better. You're too young. And it's too funny almost. We don't have the Eastern Camp? Let's go get Eastern Camp. Rads there said, remember that the cards rotated and they lose value due to how the meta works. I don't know what you're referring to here. I mostly talk about vintage cards. You can buy modern cards too. I have a collection of modern cards that look real nice, but I don't buy quite as much into them. They're cheaper, and so if you're careful with the modern cards, I think if you buy certain modern cards and then give them 20 years, you will have huge potential for growth with those cards. They will go from like $100 per card to maybe in the future $2,000 to $4,000 per card. Really think about that for a minute. That means it would be outperforming the stock market basically as a store of value. Really crazy to think about. Not to mention it's fun. So you've got like the card in your hand. It's nice. You show it off to your friend. You'd be like, I got a big Charizard and I got a big dick. So you can show that off to your future wifey who's into Pokemon. She's a Pokemon nerd, and so it's got a bit of fun to it that the stock market doesn't have. But yeah, the modern cards today are much cheaper to buy into because they're not rare yet. They're not old yet. So if you were to buy them and you have the patience to hold them for 20 years from now, very likely they'll do what the vintage cards are already doing, where they're extremely expensive. And the vintage cards, 20 years from now, the vintage cards will be 40 years old. So the vintage cards, I expect them all to shift over to, I don't know, like the $40,000 range, roughly. Right now, a lot of vintage cards go for about $1,000 to $5,000. In the future, I expect many of them to go between $20,000, $40,000, and $60,000. That's what I expect. That's my prediction. The good old vintage cards. They will be quite old. Quite old indeed. There's already Pokemon cards that go for $75,000. And those are only 20 years old. Really crazy to think about. What are we doing? Oh, we're going to talk to this lady and we're going to get that camp going.
Hello.
Housing outperforms the stock market and its value is undeniable to every man on this earth. No, that's not true, actually, Fast F. So if you didn't know this about me, my wife and I do research on investing on houses. We do, actually, almost every single day I watch financial videos. No, not almost. It is every single day. Every single day I watch a few financial videos, and she and I have talked repeatedly about becoming landlords with her parents' extra home. We've done our research. We did our research again. We researched it again. The housing, being a landlord pays just about as much as the stock market does. And that's not a coincidence. The reason that occurs is because if housing was doing better than the stock market, then investors would move into housing. So what happens is they end up equalizing. That's what ends up happening. When the houses outperform the stock market, investors go and buy houses. And then when the houses no longer outperform the stock market, they jump back to the stock market. So the idea that you can own a bunch of property and outperform the stock market, if somebody's telling you that, they are not giving you the truth. They're not being your friend and telling you the truth if they're telling you that, because they end up always reaching an equilibrium between each other. Because again, these investors, all they do is look at how to make more money, and they're watching the housing market all day long. So they watch it all day long. They're experts at it. You're not an expert at it. They are. They've been doing it for 20 years in their life. They're old men. You're not. So they're experts and you're not. They will rake you over the coals if you make the wrong move in the housing market. You will lose a lot of money real fast. So you look at the landlords like, oh yeah, they're just ripping people off. No, they're getting pretty much a fair value on their investment compared to the stock market. And sometimes they're not even outperforming the stock market. One of the distinct things about investing in homes, though, is if you like taking care of a home and if you like being a landlord, then it might be for you. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of a job all on its own. There's a time investment you put into. There's a time investment. Really? Oh, we need Prosperous Crystal. Darn it. All right, we'll get the Prosperous Crystal. There's a time investment that goes into running a house and being a landlord and repairing it all. And so you have to be willing to make that time investment. It's basically a job. You could have a job now. You can have a nice paying job where you don't deal with, having a tenant who hates you, and maybe they're a shitty tenant, and you don't have to deal with the house breaking down. You just work a nice job and then use your money to buy stock. It's way easier. So the idea that you just get rich owning homes is totally false. That's not true at all. You'll get rich buying Pokemon cards. Go buy Pokemon cards. That's been true for me, by the way. I have actually I'm pretty sure I have gotten rich off of Pokemon cards. I was just explaining to you guys about the booster boxes. I may have earned 80,000. I may have $80,000 of booster boxes at this point, which used to be about $15,000 of booster boxes in the past. That may have just happened to me. And it's probably going to get better over time, not worse, because the boxes continue to be opened. It's a lot of money. That's not a hole. How do we get down to the creepy place? Is it over here? TGC, I thought you said no curse word. That's right, no curse word. She says, someday I will be rich. Never knew a rusty piece of coin would be so expensive. What are we talking about? We're talking about coins? People collecting coins is a big hobby as well. I was actually very tempted to get into coin collecting. Very, very tempted. But I ended up picking Pokemon because I know more about Pokemon. I'm more familiar with it. I think it's hard for like traditional investors to get into card collecting because they don't understand Pokemon. A fluvial crystal. Maybe prosperous crystal doesn't come from here. Alright, so let's not do this area. Prosperous crystal. Where's that going to come from? Slosty says boxes can be destroyed/stolen. Any flood, fire, anything serious will destroy the cards. Well, a flood actually would not destroy the cards. The reason for that is because it's sealed in plastic, but then inside of the box, the packs are sealed in foil. So a flood actually would be fine. It would not destroy the box. Theft is probably what I'm most scared of, which is why I removed all the boxes from my home, because my wife and I were talking about various ways we could protect the cards. And we're like, we'll buy a gun. But I realized the very safest thing you can do is to leave the cards with the bank. Okay, so you just put your cards in a bank, you're done. There's a fee you pay for that, and then you're done. I don't think you get prosperous crystal out here either. Do you get it maybe you get it in the ancient forest. Oh, it's in the forest area. They're saying it right there. Running along, singing my song. So it seems like we're going to need another episode on the PC because we have definitely not reached a high enough level to bring out Tempered Nergigante. Now there should be stuff down here, right? Could have sworn this is where you have your crystals and everything. Yeah, there it is. Revolver says. Oh, there's decayed crystal. Quick question. Has anyone ever had an ulcer, and what home remedies can help since because of stupid COVID my procedure has been canceled? What? I do not know what an ulcer is. TheGameconomist here. What you're going to need is a scalpel and alcohol. Any doctors in the chat room? Oh yeah. I get a lot of doctors in this chat room. Very popular chat room. Did I miss any? Did I not miss any? Wow. What? This can't be the whole area. I thought there was an area that you crawled through. Maybe it's in the next zone. The auto zone. Maybe it's over here. Mouth ulcers. I can't speak. You have a mouth ulcer? Brush your teeth, boy. You better brush better. You just brush your teeth. Wait for it to go away. Mary says, anyone want to buy my bathwater? I'm investing in Mary's bathwater. Let's run up here. Maybe it was up here. It's very painful. It's like needles. That's why you gotta get some mouthwash or something, man. Get some mouthwash. Take a painkiller or something. I don't know. Brush your teeth. Keep your teeth brushed. It won't, you know. Very often you get, well, you get those if you bit the side of your cheek. I hate that. Actually, I'm somebody who apparently grinds my teeth at night, and I've bit my tongue and I've bit the side of my mouth before in my sleep. These guys are out here. What are you guys doing out here? There's a bait bug. Oh, nothing here. Yeah, if you bit the side of your mouth, that's one thing. But a lot of people, you'll get it if you're not brushing every day. You gotta brush. You gotta brush those stinky teeth. There's some bones. I get mouth ulcers from low vitamins and stress. Uh-oh. Small cuts caused by foods also create ulcers. What? Okay, so we already grabbed everything from around here. I should do a video sometime where I show off my collection. I think that would be fun. Oh, here we are. Forest crystal? What did he say? You're mining because of the low level of the region. What? Did not get a single crystal. Time to put all those hours in Minecraft to use. Oh my god. You guys sure prosperous crystals in the ancient forest? You know what I really like about Monster Hunter? How positive it is. It could easily be dark and edgy, monster kill all my family, but everyone's just so bright and enthusiastic. Oh, really? I actually would like the game if it was kind of a darker game. I like darker games. Oh. That's why I like Dark Souls. Like, if there was a tragic death, like the handler died. Shifu says, I think you need to level up your forest. God damn it. No! Can't I just join somebody who already leveled up their forest? Oh my god, I hate the grinding lands so much. I really, really, really disapprove of the guiding lands. Look how much time we've wasted already. This is not fun. I'm not enjoying this. I actually am not enjoying this at all. This is not fun gameplay. This is not even fun to watch. I can't imagine you guys like watching me run around the guiding lands. I'm literally just running. Actually, I know you guys don't like to watch it. You know why? Because I get the data and analytics for my videos. And you guys drop off hard when I do this too long. So if I go into the guiding lands and I start going after rocks, we will lose people who don't want to watch this anymore. It's not always, but... Alright, he says, you can join my guiding lands. Sounds good. Let's go back home. Let's go back home, because that is a huge waste of time. I'm okay with guiding lands. Tell you guys what, let me stand up and stretch. That's one of the things I'm starting to do these days. I'm going to stand up and stretch for a minute, okay? I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I am back. It looks like I can't join these. My master rank is not high enough. How do you like that? Let's try responding to SOS. Alright, I'm going to go into this guy's land. I'm going to go to his ancient forest and mine it up. Amazing. So after I'm all done with the stream, what do you guys think I ought to do today, huh? What should I have for lunch? I'm hungry. I've not had lunch. I'm probably going to go for a walk, and then later tonight, I'm probably going to do the Pokemon stream, the card stream, I mean. And then maybe I'll try to queue up Pokemon Crystal for this channel. I got a busy schedule. Have you guys seen Ghost of Tsushima gameplay? Did I say that right? Shima? Ghost of Tsushima? Man, it looks like just another weeaboo game. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but it just looks like another game where you're Samurai Jack. It's like, wow, I'm Samurai Jack. I was not impressed. I think I'm a little worn out on the whole like I'm a samurai stuff. A little worn out on it. Ready for something new and unusual. Jump over here. Mac and cheese. Who eats mac and cheese who is over the age of 10? I'm just teasing. I'm sure a lot of people do. Butter chicken. Ew, that sounds like a heart attack. I'll have butter chicken, and I'll have butter tacos, followed by butter steak. And then, well, actually, you do cook steak with butter, so. Left the quest. Am I still in his version of the quest, though? Can I still find, He's all mad because I went to the ancient forest, I'm sure. I don't think so. I think it's at my level, isn't it? Well, technically it says 6th there. Yeah, he was mad. He saw that I ran to the ancient forest first. Grab these mandragora while I'm here. Give me a handy. What? Steak hamburgers are good. Yeah. I agree. Let's jump back. Dude, this game's ridiculous, man. Here at my place, we eat with noodles. With noodles. With oodles of noodles. Your level doesn't matter. Just keep mining the nodes level up when you mine them. Oh, thank you, Slowsty. Well, unfortunately, we already ran away. My bad.
There, partner.
Let's see if he's still up. This guy's got level 2. Dude. This guy's got level 3. Let's join him. Monster Hunter bored me, so I've modded the hell of Skyrim on my Xbox, and man, it's beautiful. Check your master rank bar. It's 99. When wide open games lack choice, it turns me off a little. Yeah, man. I can't believe this is what I'm doing. This is not fun. This is actually not fun. I've done it on multiple consoles. It is just a grind. That's all it is. There's nothing exciting about this. We're trying to get the materials to level up to the correct amount. It's like, man, what a freaking waste of my time. There's other things to do in life, guys. There's other things to do in life. Need to look for the red mining icon. It says it's Titan. Let's grab this bone pile. Bring geologist, or whatever it's called. Look at guiding lands people. You can see the level of their land, for example, the forest. What are you meowing about? Little kitty comes over here, starts meowing. Kitty, that's not acceptable. There it is, prosperous crystal. That only took me like 30 minutes of the live stream. Unacceptable, man. That's crazy. How's this fun? Play the best and most OP weapon in the game. Lance. The Lance is so good at defense. Just use PC magic. Oh, just use PC magic. I see what you're saying. Hey, maybe I should. Prosperous crystal. Maybe I should ask my viewers if they just want to loan me a save where everything's already maxed out. Guiding forest crystal. Amazing. But this is the real experience here, you know, like all this grinding. Hey, mister, I just got into the stream. What are we doing in the grinding lands? Wanting to kill ourselves? Could be something different than just tempered. Stop playing Monster Hunter World and play Titanfall with me.
Hey there, partner.
Titanfall's okay.
Hello, 5L.
Alright, let's go ahead and choose complete deliveries. Wait. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. It's at the top now. Alright, all that just to set up camp. Freaking wrecked, man. How's it going, Revolver? He says, I really like your channel. Thanks, man. Hey there, do you have any good advice for solo Black Valhazak? Use the ledges to get multiple mounts. Bring effluvial resist. Those two things. Set your cat to the heal cat stuff. The Vigor Wasp spray. I'm trying to remember the name of it. What? James says, most hated game that you played. Most hated game that I played? I mean, I would have put it down immediately if I hated it. So I would probably not remember it at all. I'm sure I would have put it down right away. Maybe Sword and Shield. Holy. Yesterday, I was having my epiphany where I was really realizing just how badly designed Pokemon Sword and Shield is. Pokemon Sword and Shield plays like a shitty free-to-play smartphone game. Plays like an app. It is so garbage. That game deserves an F-. I can't believe how much I dislike it after thinking about it more. Imagine being Japan's largest franchise, and maybe the largest. I've read on Google that Pokemon's the largest media franchise in the world. Imagine being the largest media franchise in the world and pumping out that F-tier garbage that is Sword and Shield, the Pokemon game. That game's despicably bad, and the guys who are in charge of it should be fired immediately. I've had time for it to like sink in. It's like when somebody abuses you and you need time to realize it. That game was bad. Somebody should be fired. That game is hyper bad. I don't know how they are not fired for that. I will be firing left and right. I'd be like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. That would be me right now. Let's see if we can lure anything out. That game was very bad. Let's see. Lure out monster. What are we looking for? A coral region? Pink Raytheon? Let's get that pink Raytheon. Have I tried Dragon's Dogma? It's really good. I've heard about it. I probably never will try it. Pokemon needs an open world game. Yes says Gameconomist should have been Pokemon Hunting Horn. What? There you go. That would have fixed it. Jay Rizzle says, I like how the first phase of battle is for Pokken. What? The first phase of battle is for Pokken. What? I don't know what you're talking about. It's made a heckload of money. Money is important, which is why if the owners of the product, owner of the franchise and the brand, hear how loudly everyone is crying that they do not like the product, they would be feeling very nervous, because it's one thing to sell a product and to do well on one sale. The next time a Pokemon game comes out, a lot of people are going to decide, I don't need that product. That's what's going to happen. That's how it works. So they can't just be like, yeah, sold. They can't say that. That's a really terrible way to run a business. If people are all screaming to you that it's a shit product, you better be nervous, because you're going to end up losing quite a lot of money the next time you post a game and nobody wants it. You better communicate real clearly how you fixed all the problems. Run over here. Jay Rizzo says, I was saying they need to make an open world Pokemon game with Pokemon free roam for battle, like how the first phase of battle in Pokemon is. What? Totally Not a Trap says, you could lure a Radobon. I could lure a Radobon. They fixed that, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they fixed that. Right into a wall. Go ahead and start softener here too. Yeah, I have to say, the Switch X has definitely grown on me. Yeah, Switch X definitely grown on me for sure. Oops, that was supposed to be a charge zero sum. Oh, you gotta throw me off. Nice job. Let's grab these materials. Ouch. I might forget to if I don't do it right now. Ring! Shut up. Shut up, baby. I know it. Get all angry at me. You ever play Toontown? I know it sounds like a joke, but the combat is OP. Toontown? What? Right, I'm getting into Toontown. New Toontown channel over here, guys. Oh, nice. Is the leg softened? Yeah, it is. Ouch. 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 She's just tripping me over and over, man. Get out of here. Such a bitch. No dust to life, huh? How can I get my Pokemon cards rated, says Leonardo. There's a company called PSA, and they have a forum for you. Well, you have to make a PSA submission. It's kind of complicated, actually. It took me like hours to figure out, which probably explains why more people don't do it. What you could do if you wanted to, I can probably grade your cards for $18 per card. I'll do the submission for you if you're interested. Otherwise, you go to the PSA website and you'll try to figure out how to do it yourself. But yeah, that's one of the things I offer on my card channel, is I offer to grade people's cards for them. Nice job. You got some Pokemon cards? Send me a picture. I want to see them. Ouch. I knew that was coming. How's it going, Shafiq? Is it Shafiq? HARPG says, I kind of stopped playing Pokemon a long time ago since all the games are basically the same game. What I look forward to are the Pokemon, and I like them all. What? What is cards used for just collection? Oh, what are the cards used for? Just collecting. The Pokemon card franchise launched as a game. It's a card game. So there are Pokemon card tournaments. Go watch one. They're all over YouTube. Pokemon hosts them. They're Pokemon card tournaments. And players create decks and they play against each other. Just like Magic the Gathering. In fact, I think in order of like prolificness, if that's the right word, the largest sort of battles are going to be like poker, obviously. But then I think actually you have Magic the Gathering, and then after Magic the Gathering, I think is Pokemon. Unless Pokemon's larger than Magic, which I'd be surprised if that was true, but it might be true. I don't know. I don't know which one gets a larger audience, that's all I'm saying. I know Magic's been around longer. It's probably Magic. Oops, not what I was trying to do there, but okay. Kind of wish that move came out faster. Did I cut the tail? I didn't grab the tail grabbing onto it, did I? Nice job, guys. What do you think about the mystery dungeon, the new one in particular? Should I give it a go? I have not touched it. I have no clue how I feel about it. I could play that game, by the way. It's a new game, technically. I don't know if there's much of an audience for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm from Southeast Asia. Can I play with you without lag? There'll probably be lag, but it doesn't really matter. This isn't a lag-sensitive game, I would say. This is a game where you can play it and not have to worry about lag really affecting the quality. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you're in a competition and if you lose, you're going to lose rank or anything like that. It's very uncompetitive. What do you think about how farmers are slaughtering their livestock and getting rid of their produce because of this coronavirus bottleneck? I don't think I've heard what you're referring to. I think what you're trying to make it sound like is, are you suggesting they're intentionally killing their livestock to drive up costs or something like that? I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Phantom Core Ore? Give me something better than Phantom Core Ore. This guy's greedy. Jump back to the Eastern camp. Philippe says, I would watch that. Oh, interesting. Trying to watch this stream, but my brother's blasting his anime. Okay, who do we have on the field? Time to lure out another monster. Get rid of the anime. Got some pink Raytheon stuff. That's nice. Can you show us your build, please? Greetings from Chile. Hold on, let's talk to the handler again. We're going to choose Lure Out Monster. And we are going to move on to... this is Coral Region, huh? We're going to bring out a Zenogre. Can you help me with the Silver Rathalos? Nobody else wants to, and I'm already in your session. Silver Rathalos. Well... I would. We're trying to get our... Right now I'm focusing on guiding lands because I'm trying to get my master rank to 100. Have you tried shooting a flare out, maybe? A flare would probably work. I have a limited time to do this. I got about 30 minutes left and then I'm closing the stream down, so I'm trying to be productive. But let's see. What was I... Oh, somebody wanted to see the build too. Hold on. Equipment info. Here we go. Here's the build. Hope that helps. We got Guts and Agitator Secret. Cool. Farmers are getting rid. He's from USA. Specifically Missouri. Hey, I'm from Missouri. No, I haven't heard of that. Are they getting rid of their livestock because it's advantageous to get rid of the livestock? Or are they... What do you think is actually causing that? Oh, right there. Saul says, farmers are not able to afford to feed their livestock because of not having many meat suppliers buying meat due to Corona shutting down many meat processing plants. Thank you for explaining that. Now it makes more sense. That's sad, man. That's a real waste. That's a real waste. I guess it's either do that or let the animal suffer. Or I don't know, actually. Oh, God. Alright, time to play Clutch Claw. Monster Hunter World Clutch Claw. Yeah, that's good enough. It's wall splat. I miss my Game Boy Color. Pokemon is bigger than Monster Hunter. I guess that's actually true. I miss... Oof, bro, man. I wanted to play Monster Hunter, but my sister's watching a stupid Disney princess movie. Mr. Cove has the best chest piece. Male gets a cool cape and females get big breasts. What? Do you think they'll make changes to the Clutch Claw to be less shitty? I have a suspicion they might. To their credit, the developers for Monster Hunter actually seem like they play their own game. Because when they do make changes, it's obvious that they make subtle balance changes, and those balance changes seem to be pretty well understood. So. Oh yes. Come on, chop that tail up. What the hell? How did we miss that? Oh my god, we're missing everything right now. Ouch. Let's get the Rocksteady mantle on. Soften up the tail while he's drooling. They make pretty good changes listening to the players. Yeah, exactly. Although, Lance got shafted. Like, they did so good improving the hunting horn, making it cooler. Lance got the clutch claw? I don't know. I'm a fan of the Lance. We're going for a ride. What? I didn't realize I was... Woo! He's hurt. Let's beat him up. Oh, I'm on it. I got it. Boop. Good job, everyone. Actually, I should run back and gather some of that stuff. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Let's see, we'll get some of this, and we'll get Shock Trap already. Captured already. What is this, the A-Team? I have full blight and stun resist, but Master Rank Kieran is still able to stun me. Has anyone else noticed this? Am I doing something wrong? You're still stunnable? I've never seen that before. So I've never seen stun resist and you can still be stunned. So I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch. Sounds like a glitch. No one in Capcom plays Lance. Even they understand that Lance is bad. What? They should have made Clutch Claw an option more than a have to do. Yeah, we've talked about that kind of stuff ad nauseum at this point. Ad nauseum. I'm increasing your vocabulary. Hit that like button. Hit that like button and look up the term ad nauseum. The word. It's like 2 words, right? You think I'm going to increase your vocabulary for free? Hit that like button. Comes with a cost. You know Zenogre is really just a Dogo with a nasty case of fleas. It's like an interesting perspective. We got some Zenogre stuff. Coral region is level 2. Amaze balls. We got Coral Pookie. Oh. No. Coral region. We got Coral Pookie Pookie. For some weapons, the Clutch Claw feels a part of the weapon, like for the hammer. Oh, I see what you're saying. It feels like it belongs. How's it going, Footed Pancake? Run over here. Yellow boy, hardest monster. I wouldn't worry about it, man. It's probably just a glitch. The Lance video now has more dislikes than likes. Woo! You better not talk about my Lance that way. Let's run up here. Whoa, what? Oh. Why are you gathering Imperials? You can just cheat. That's true, but I'm playing legit. Deep Sea Crystal. Coral Poopy Poopy. That's right. Heavy weapons can be annoying as they can't drop slinger ammo. Clutch Claw is okay, it's the softening mechanic that is the problem. Clutch Claw can suck my big stinky poopy. Right over here, let's get the mantle on. We're going to start with the temporal mantle. Boop. Ouch. Wow, that didn't reach. That's annoying. Why the Lance is worse than the Clutch Claw? Imagine playing legit. I know, right? take this off real fast. His tail is actually kind of hard to hit when it's not inflated. Boop. Woo! New Switch Axe main? That's it, I'm maining Switch Axe. It's my new boo. I feel like part of playing the Switch Axe has been kind of determining ahead of time when you need to convert back to the axe, so that when you have the axe, since you get a better roll with the axe, when you switch back to it, you're ready to dodge. You know what I mean? So the trick is to convert early over to the axe. So when you have the axe out, you'll notice that you get a good walking speed. See this? So this is the walking speed with the axe, and you get a good roll as well, right? Whereas when you have the sword out, you'll notice that the walk speed is much slower. It's like a medium speed walk, and the roll is very similar to the greatsword. See this? So it's like this slower, less mobile roll. So when you're attacking the monster like this with your combo, if you convert to the switch axe early, then you can have the normal iframes and the normal walking speed. So in other words, what you do is you're punishing the monster while you're in sword mode, but get out of the sword mode early when you're anticipating that the monster will be free to attack again. So I've been playing Switch Axe a bit more. I actually think it's feeling really nice. You know, if you're somebody who has practiced iframing a lot in the game, it's not such a big idea that it's not such a big problem that the Switch Axe doesn't have a tackle. It's not such a big problem that the Switch Axe doesn't have foresight slash like the longsword, because that's very often that's what's going on when you're playing Switch Axe. You're comparing it to your two other options, the longsword and the greatsword, and obviously I think the greatsword still is a better option, but it feels great. It feels nice being able to master a second weapon, rather than just playing greatsword all the time. But I think greatsword inevitably is still a better option. You just get such crazy damage with the greatsword, especially when you land it. Oops. Hold on. The difference is marginal, anyways, between the three of them. And again, if you actually practice iframing through things, and you realize that you need to convert back to the axe early, all of that really helps. We got Bond Bro. It's Bond Bro. Wow, it's the Bond Bro, man. Oh, man. I'm going to destroy Elytron with air hammer spam. Aerial hammer. Alright, that's level 3 coral. Switch Axe still needs a little bit more iframes. Too tight of a window for such long lag attacks. Well, I mean, the iframe roll is going to be the same in the axe mode as it is with any regular weapon like the hammer. So if you're like me and you've played a lot of hammer, the axe mode really isn't that bad. It's more like the attacks with the axe feel like they're not dealing enough damage. So it's not until you're in the sword mode that you feel like you're doing good damage. Because once the sword is charged, then you start dealing more damage because of the extra tick of damage you get while it's charged. So having it in sword mode is optimal for getting your damage up, but the axe actually has the defensiveness, it has the maneuverability, you know what I mean? So the trick is maneuvering in the axe mode and then transitioning to the sword mode, and staying in sword mode as often as you can. But you use the axe mode whenever the monster is free to move around and free to attack you. Oh, we're out of those? What do we have? We're out of Coral Pookie Pookie. We got Pink Raytheon. Let's do it. Millionaire Tri-Slugger. If you don't have access to it, try to get your affinity as high as possible. I feel like Bam Bam off the Flintstones when I use hammer. Bam Bam. Dude, Flintstones is so old, man. That is an old cartoon. I have memories of being a little kid at my grandmother's home before she passed away. And I think my parents were living at, my grandmother's home for a while as they transitioned from living in California to living in... I was actually born in California, if you guys didn't know that, because my dad was in the Navy out there, and then they moved back here to Missouri is what they did, because that's where their family was from, or our family, or whatever you want to call it. So I believe they lived with my grandparents, their parents, for a short while before they bought their home out here in Missouri, in St. Louis. And I remember being up in that old room of theirs, my grandmother's spare bedroom, and it would be like Star Trek Enterprise, or what was it? Star Trek, not Enterprise. It's the Captain Picard and Enterprise. What do they call that? There was a term for it. Star Trek: The Next Generation, I think. Yeah, so Star Trek was on back then, and Flintstones would play as well. Flintstones was actually, I think back then it was already considered old, Flintstones was. But there would be like Flintstones gummies. People make fun of the Flintstones gummies these days. They joke about it, they meme about it. But Flintstones gummies was like a thing back then, and we had Flintstone gummy vitamins. We would get Flintstone gummy vitamins. Man, what a wild time. And yeah, it was basically candy, so you're like, I need my vitamins. What a clever product. A product that is essentially candy, but they market it as vitamins. That is some good marketing. That is a good product. Yeah, you gotta have your Flintstone gummies, man. Good for you. It's good for you, covered in sugar. It's basically a gummy worm, but we put powder in it that's healthy. 9 out of 10 doctors say Flintstones gummy gonna protect you from corona. Oh, did I just do that? Oh my god, I just did that. Never mind, my stupid sister is hogging up the TV. Why do you get a coral bird when you lure a monster? I get poop beetle when I lure. So I'm not going to be able to play Monster Hunter. Me and the boys crushing and snorting Flintstone gummies. I know, right? Well, and that's the funny thing, too, because your parent would have to hide the Flintstone gummies, since they were, again, essentially they were just candy. Your parent would have to hide them, because otherwise you were just going to eat them all. You didn't care. You're like, this is candy, man. I'm not stupid. We were all stupid as kids. We probably still are stupid. Most of us. Not me, obviously. I'm smart and I'm clever. Ouch. Oh, she got the bad poison on me. I didn't know that Pink Raytheon had that. I thought that was exclusive to Gold Raytheon. Bitch! See, this is where you get your good damage out with the weapon right here. Is when your weapon's all charged up. And the monster's just sitting there waiting for you to smack on them. Chop this tail off. Do you like Greatsword? I love Greatsword. Greatsword is one of the best weapons in the game by far. It feels good, it looks good, and it plays extremely well. Probably the best weapon that they made. Hammer's in a really nice spot too, so is Longsword. I think dual blades feel really nice. Most weapons actually do really well. they greatly improved the... Really, I don't have it? I was just going to eat an Astera jerky because you can buy Astera jerkies, but apparently I don't have any Astera jerky. But yeah, really, just a few weapons of theirs don't feel that good right now, and mostly what I'm talking about, of course, is the lance. The lance doesn't feel good. I think the hunting horn could use improvements as well, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. When you look at the popularity charts, you see that the lance and the hunting horn are their two least played weapons. So you guys, in your own way, have voted for what weapons you like best by how often you play them. Go ahead and sharpen. Charge axe mode, help flinch, and trip easier. Thanks, Jay Rizzle. Yeah, I need to get that charged more often. It's just, I don't feel like I always have the opening I want in order to do that. What's your favorite greatsword build? The one that does damage? Insect Glaive could use a buff, says Mariana. Insect Glaive could use a buff. I think Insect Glaive could use an aerial damage buff. I think I agree with that. On the ground, it's okay on the ground. The problem is, on the ground, it's like, it's not better than Greatsword, Longsword, or Switch Axe at anything on the ground. So really what is making the Insect Glaive stand out are his aerial attacks. But for some reason, Capcom doesn't want the aerial attacks to do too much damage. Maybe they consider it OP or something. But currently I think that, yeah, the aerial damage should be increased on the Insect Glaive to make it compete more with the other weapons. Greatsword is the highest damage weapon in the game. I don't think that's debatable. Well, actually, it's probably the bow and the bow and the heavy bow gun, and in some cases the light bow gun. They're the highest damage, right? Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about the light bow gun. Longsword needs a buff, I feel, or maybe I'm trash. Well, Longsword's in a good spot, I'd say. So very popular without being too strong. So I think they should leave the Longsword alone. It's in a really good spot. That's exactly what you want. A weapon that's popular, but not too powerful. That is good weapon design in a nutshell. Alright guys, well we are at the 2-hour mark, and I need to go for a walk and have lunch today. Get my wave going. Later tonight, I'm going to be hosting a Pokemon card stream on my second YouTube channel. If you've never been over there, there's a link to the second channel in the description of this live stream. You can pop over there, you can hit the subscribe button and say hi to me, and watch us open thousands of dollars of Pokemon cards, because that's what we do almost every day. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.